Ein besonderer Gruß geht heute an Urs Lehmann, dem CEO des Internationalen Ski- und Snowboardverbandes. Special greeting goes to the numerous national and international guests of honor, the representatives of the International and German Ski Associations and the members of the jury. A special welcome to the FIS CEO Urs Lehmann. Wir stellen Ihnen nun die Jury und die Sprungrichter vor. Now we are presenting the jury and the judges. Der technische Delegierte, die FIS Technical Delegate, Jelko Groß, Slowenien. Chief of Competition, Rennleiter, Georg Späth. Die Assistant Technical Delegate, die Assistentin des technischen Delegierten, Jessica Jerome, USA. Das sind die Kampfrichter, these are the judges. Mirko Hünefeld, Germany. Satoshi Mori, Japan. Luka Ogranjenček, Slowenien. Oliver Katol, Austria. Und Axel Ravel, Frankreich, France. Der Renndirektor der FIS, das ist Sandro Pertile, die FIS Race Director. Ihn heißen wir ebenso ganz herzlich willkommen, wie auch den Assistenten des Renndirektors Borek Sedlak, die Assistant Race Director. 18 teilnehmende Nationen, 18 participating nations hier in der Qualifikation. Und die heißen wir jetzt alle ganz, ganz herzlich willkommen. We are welcoming the participating nations of this qualification of the 74th FIS tournament. Herzlich willkommen, welcome Austria, Österreich, Bulgaria, Bulgarien, welcome Canada, Czechia, Tschechien, Estonia, Estland, Finnland, France, Frankreich. Herzlich willkommen Japan, welcome Japan, Kasachstan, Republic of Korea, welcome Norway, welcome Poland, welcome Slovenia, wir begrüßen die Schweiz, welcome Switzerland, welcome Turkey, welcome Ukraine, herzlich willkommen in die Ukraine. Welcome to the United States of America, USA. Und herzlich willkommen die Gastgeber aus Deutschland. Ein Dankeschön an den Internationalen Ski- und Snowboardverband, die FIS, für die Übertragung auch zum 74. Mal die Vierschanzentournee hier in Oberstdorf. Und Dankeschön an den Deutschen Skiverband. Und dann geht's zur offiziellen Begrüßung nach unten. Und ich darf übergeben an meinen Kollegen Kevin Gerwig, bitte.
Vielen Dank, Jens. Ja, wir freuen uns ja eigentlich immer das ganze Jahr auf genau diesen Moment. Und ich freue mich sehr, dass Georg Geiger aus dem Vorstand vom SC Oberstdorf da ist und Wolfgang Schnabel, der Pfarrer der Marktgemeinde Oberstdorf. Schön, dass Sie beide da sind. Großer Applaus. Georg, als allererstes an dich die Frage. Es ist immer wieder ein wunderbares Gefühl, wenn es endlich wieder losgeht, oder?
Es ist das, auf was wir jetzt das ganze Jahr warten. Wochen und Monate der Vorbereitungen sind jetzt vorbei und wir freuen uns jetzt richtig, dass es losgeht. Endlich beginnt die Vierschanzentournee in Oberstdorf.
Da haben wir richtig Bock drauf. Herr Schnabel,
ich habe gesagt, Sie sind ganz großer Sportfan. Ich habe aber erstmal eine andere Frage. Was haben Sie denn mit Ihrem Chef gedealt, dass das Wetter so gut ist? guter Kontakt, würde ich so sagen. Also wir sind auch seit Wochen dran, dass es schönes Wetter gibt und heuer klappt es wieder super. Sind Sie selber auch im
Skisport aktiv? Ja, selbstverständlich. Alpinfahrer, Langlauf. Skispringen jetzt nicht. Ich glaube, da hätte der Bischof keine Freude. Aber Alpinfahren schon von klein auf.
Aber Sie müssen ja eigentlich von Haus aus gut versichert sein.
Das sowieso, ja.
Es ist auf jeden Fall so, dass wir natürlich wieder hoffen, dass auch für die Deutschen was geht. Was ist denn Ihre Expertenmeinung dazu?
Meine Expertenmeinung ist, ja, Philipp Raimund. Das ist ein Tipp, ja.
Das wäre natürlich auch ja, für Oberstdorf auch überragend, oder?
Ja, das wäre natürlich super. Der Philipp, der Hille, wie wir sagen, ist in einer super Form. Er ist mental gut drauf, er ist heiß und wir sind es auch. Wir drücken alle Daumen, nicht nur dem Hille, natürlich auch um Karler, Andi Wellinger, Alex Hoffmann, unserer ganzen Mannschaft und hoffen, dass wir endlich dieses Jahr einmal wieder einen deutschen Sieger in Bischofshofen feiern dürfen.
Das wäre natürlich ganz überragend. Und was natürlich auch immer ein riesengroßes Thema ist, ist das Thema Helfer. Hier sind wieder über 700 Helfer, teilweise aus ganz Deutschland, die nehmen Urlaub. Und jetzt sind wir auch mal genug, dass wir mal einen riesengroßen Applaus für alle Helfer loslassen können. Ganz besonders laut, nämlich auch mal für die Leute, die draußen an den Parkplätzen stehen. Die kriegen teilweise vom Spring gar nichts mit. Und das ist deren großer Applaus. Wie stolz ist man da als Präsident des SCO, dass man so viele Helfer hat?
Ich kann es gar nicht beschreiben, ich sage es immer wieder, wir haben das weltbeste Helferteam. Ich bin echt davon überzeugt, dass es ganz wenige Helferteams gibt wie bei uns in Oberstdorf. Wir haben hier 700 Helfer im Einsatz, die alles vorbereitet haben, die auch dafür sorgen, dass die Veranstaltung einwandfrei abgewickelt werden kann. Ich möchte die Gelegenheit nutzen, mich persönlich auch im Namen vom Skiclub Oberstdorf, vom ganzen Vorstand und auch von unserer SVG bei unseren Helfern wirklich zu bedanken. Ihr macht es so klasse, ihr tragt dazu bei, dass diese tollen Bilder in die Welt gehen und wir sind richtig, richtig stolz drauf. Herzlichen Dank an euch alle für eure tolle Arbeit. Dankeschön.
Das ist ein riesengroßes Dankeschön wert. Ja, was passiert mit Oberstdorf, wenn Vierschanzentournee losgeht?
Ein absolutes Highlight im ganzen Jahr. Der Ort ist voll, wir haben viele Gäste und ja, wir freuen uns drauf. Auch für mich ist es wirklich immer ein Highlight, die Vierschanzentournee.
Vielen Dank, dass Sie beide da waren und dann würde ich vorschlagen, versuchen wir schon mal ein kleines bisschen Stimmung reinzubekommen. Hier ist die Atmosphäre immer überragend. Kann ich mal einmal die Deutschlandfahnen nach vorne sehen? Nein, 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 nach vorne. Einmal die Deutschlandfahnen nach vorne halten. Wir versuchen eine kleine Fahnenwelle. Alle Fahnen nach vorne, auch oben am Hang. Alle Fahnen einmal nach vorne halten. Könnt ihr mich am Hang auch hören oben? Alle Fahnen. Wir machen mal eine Fahnenwelle. Wir fangen oben bei euch am Hang an. 3, 2, 1. Oi. Nach unten. Orientieren. Jawohl.
A very good afternoon and welcome to gorgeous Oberstdorf on this sunny Sunday, as it's been. Everything set for the opening of the 74th edition of the Viessmann, the Four Hills. Well, a very good afternoon. I'm David Goldstrom, and on behalf of FIS TV, delighted to have your company for qualification of the Viessmann in Oberstdorf. We're in the Allgäu region in the southwest corner of Germany. Oberstdorf, the first stop on a journey that will take us from the Schattenberg Schanze to Bavaria and Garmisch-Partenkirchen, to the Olympia Schanze, and then to the Austrian Tyrol, to the Bergisel, and on after that to Bischofshofen in Salzburger Land for the finale on the 6th of January. Well, this is yet another gorgeous part of the world, a very sporting part of the world. Oberstdorf, very much a tourist and sporting town, and it's hard to get a bed here at the moment. It really is popular, the Viessmann. The mountains around Oberstdorf rising to over 2,000 meters. The likes of the Feldhorn, the Nebelhorn, the Schattenberg, which gives its name to the hill at 1,845 meters. And the Großer Knottenkopf at 2,556, just about the highest in the immediate region. And a very good afternoon, and I'm delighted to welcome you and for you to join this fantastic crowd here. Over 15,000 packed
Peter
in.
Prevc, welcome to Oberstdorf, ski jumping legend and the brother of Domen and the brother of Nika, who are competing here and in Garmisch. How exciting is this situation for you?
Yeah, Domen and Nika are really both in really great shape. Honestly, I'm happy for them, and I don't know if I'm excited. I'm just, let's say, waiting and cheering for them, and I hope that they will stay in their mindset to do what they love in life.
How are the chances for Domen here in Oberstdorf for the opening?
Well, the chances are big, and he's really kind of a man down to earth. So I think he's one of the competitors that is able to win here.
Thank you very much, Peter. Good luck and have fun here in Oberstdorf. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely to hear from Peter Prevc, the Four Hills champion of 2016. And he's right that his younger brother, Domen Prevc, is very much the favorite. Well, it certainly is with the bookmakers. 11-10 to win today, and actually odds on 4-5 to actually win the whole of the Four Hills. I think those are very skinny odds, and they don't take into account what the Four Hills actually requires. 4 different hills, adaptation to technique, to conditions, plus the fact that you're traveling almost every day, unpacking, packing. If you're successful, an awful lot of media attention, and the energy gets sapped very easily. Well, once again, a very warm welcome on behalf of FIS TV for the qualification, the first step on a 10-day journey for this famous competition dating back to 1953, today the 74th edition, and there you can get an idea of the popularity, the enthusiasm, the engagement. It's a sporting occasion, it's a social occasion, and we are here at the Schattenberg Schanze in Oberstdorf in the Allgäu region in the southwest corner of Germany. And a lovely day it has been, and it still is at the moment. Qualification about to get underway. 61 competitors from 14 countries. And here are the facts on the hill. The calculation line at 120 meters, the hill size at 137. In fact, I have it at 140, but the hill record, well, that's something to really look out for. Actually, the hill size is 137. The hill record, 143.5 meters, as you see, Stefan Kraft and Philipp Raimund and Felix Hoffmann, three of arguably the main players for this season's competition. Johan Andre Forfang for Norway, maybe another. And it is 65 competitors, I should say, from 18 countries. Remarkable turnout here. The hill record set by Sigmund Pedersen of Norway in December 2003. Now, if you happen to be joining this competition for the first time, let me briefly explain what happens over the next 24 hours. So, qualification today, and what happens is that the best of the 50 that qualify today will be put into a head-to-head duel for tomorrow in the first round against the athlete who gets the least number of points. And then it becomes tomorrow the knockout first round, where the winner of each head-to-head duel goes through automatically to the final round, and then there are 5 other lucky loser places. What you're looking here is at the start list here. They are ranked in their World Cup positions. And this is also part of the Viessmann supported World Cup of ski jumping. And the first step on a prestigious journey to see who on the 6th of January will hold aloft the Golden Eagle, the trophy of the Vierschanzen. Domen Preeltz, the World Cup leader, 5 victories this season. He starts with a handsome advantage in terms of World Cup of 199 points over Ryoyo Kobayashi. And just a feeling to go over the knoll here on the Schattenberg-Schanze, come down, accelerating over 100 kilometers into this wonderful amphitheater. Sandro Pertile, race director, assisted by Borek Sedlak. Željko Gross is the technical delegate, effectively the chairman of the jury, and a famous Oberstdorf man, Georg Speth, is the chief of competition, fine man, and Jessica Jerome of the United States is the assistant TD. And it's those 3 who actually constitute the jury and will make whatever decisions are required as we go through qualification. A traditional way for the Austrians and Germans to warm up here. The hill looks absolutely gorgeous. And there, gate number 13. And I can tell you very quickly, Philipp Hoffmann of Germany in training 137 meters, Timmy Zeitz 140, Langbo 137, Philipp Raimund 135, Jan Hurl in the second training 140, Timmy Zeitz 134.5. Sit back and enjoy this. Konstantin Schmidt of Germany in the national group to get us underway. Off the table here on the Schattenberg-Schanze. Upper red line, and he's short of that. Konstantin Schmidt, 116 meters, 4 meters short of the calculation point, which means 1.8 point deduction for each of those missed meters. So instead of 60 points for distance, only 52.8. And there the style marks, unanimity from the judges, 16.5 out of a possible 20. Konstantin Schmidt on the podium 5 years ago in Raznov in Romania, his one and only podium visit. Germany again, Ben Bayer. Just 21, this young man. Top 20 in the Junior Worlds 2 seasons ago in Planica. And it's worth just mentioning that Germany haven't won this prestigious title since Sven Hannibal succeeded in 2002 when he did the Grand Slam, the first ever Grand Slam, winning all 4 competitions in a single season. That's Oberstdorf, Garmisch, Innsbruck and Bischofshofen. Ben Bayer to be followed now by a man making his debut in the World Cup. Another German, Max Unglaube, here he is. 15th in the Junior Worlds last season in Lake Placid, the new generation of German ski jumpers. Timing was somewhat awry there, that's barely over 100 meters. And Konstantin Schmidt, the much more experienced member of the national group, still with a narrow advantage, but only the best 50 will qualify for tomorrow. Great occasion for young men like young Max here. And now to Canada and Mackenzie Boyd-Close. It has been a struggle for this 34-year-old so far in the World Cup. No World Cup points this season. Mackenzie, well, he puts a telemark on the end, but the distance is the problem, or lack of it. 15 meters shy of the calculation line. And Mackenzie, when he's on form, can be very good. One of the highlights of his career, a bronze medal at the Beijing Olympics in the mixed team event. And now back into World Cup action. Junshiro Kobayashi, the older brother of Ryoyo at 34 years of age. 2 very decent efforts in Continental Cup have earned him the right back here in the Japanese team. 3rd and 4th. The wind at the moment relatively quiet. Cross tail from the right of your television screen to the left-hand side. Less than a meter per second. And there's Kento Sakoyama, who's brought Junshiro back into the team, but 96.1 points is not a particularly impressive total. Now to Fatih Ipcioglu for Turkey. The Turkish boys have had a real struggle. He's overcome a recent disqualification. And I fear that's not going to be enough either. Just seems to have lost the rhythm and feeling that he had some seasons ago. Wind the clock back to 2024, he had a top 20 finish in Titisee Neustadt, things going his way. He's a really engaging man, great ambassador for the sport. But I fear that Turkey may not be represented, although still Mr. Bedir, his teammate, to come. Karl Geiger going through picture there from Oberstdorf. And the jury deciding to take the gate up to 14. Now, what this means is more in-run. However, that's the plus side. The minus side is that you get gate deduction points. So this can mitigate any backwind compensation. And so to Choi Hong-shui, 44 years young. Wind the clock back to the year 2000. He was 11th in the World Cup there, and that remains his lifetime best. Breath of backwind. No real impact. He's been in Continental Cup, he's been in World Cup, representing Korea, of course. But that's, well, it's not even 90 meters, to be honest. Now, the gate deduction for going up to 14 is 3.8 points, which is like losing 2 meters. So Konstantin Schmidt, who started this qualification, still in the lead, but surely for not too much longer. Daniel Schoffenig, the defending champion, his turn will come. We've not seen the very best of him this season. Just one victory. Vilho Pallisaari, junior world champion in Whistler in Canada in 2023, representing Finland. Ski tips very, very much up in his face there, late in transition. And the guys that you're seeing now at the moment are all men who've yet to earn a World Cup point so far this season. There is that wonderful trophy and only 7th place. So a very modest start to the Schattenberg Schanze, and the crowd just a little bit quiet at the moment. They, like so many, will be looking for the sort of distances we saw in the training here earlier on today. And there's Simon Amann, twice a winner here in Oberstdorf, but never the winner of the Four Hills. And Yevhen Marusiak, talented again, 2024, 11th place in Vikersund ski flying, his best ever, but this season he's not looked as if he's anywhere near that sort of form. Short of that laser green line, which tells you as much as telling the athlete where they need to be to get in front. And still Konstantin Schmidt with that modest 116 meters leading the way. This is a sport which has some common factors with Formula One in the technology that's used and required, the attention to detail. America next. Tore Snell, the Norwegian, who heads the coordination between Norway and America. Eric Belshaw. And the junior world silver medalist of Planica 2 seasons ago, at the age of 21, can be better than that. And just at the moment, they're finding it really, really hard. These are not stringent backwind conditions. The backwind has strengthened to over a meter per second, which was the reason for going up a gate from 13 to 14. But it's still essentially a cross tail from right to left, coming over the left shoulder, the wind of each athlete. Robin Pedersen back into the World Cup after some good efforts in Continental Cup. 4th and 1st in Ruka in Finland in the Continental Cup there. That should be just about the lead. It's further than Konstantin Schmidt. Backwind compensation of 12.8 points, but he loses 7.6 points because we've gone up to gate 15 with the backwind strengthening. But 112.5 points is the advantage. Norway set the new mark and are about to be challenged by Slovenia. Zach Mogul. Top 10 in Japan a couple of years ago. Slovenians, of course, with a relatively strong hand. Domen Prevc, the favorite for the tournée, favorite for today and tomorrow. Trained quite well, round about 130 meters was the distance that Domen was achieving in both the first and the second training jumps. Andrzej Lanasek, at the moment, the Slovenian number 2, but already a winner, not once, but twice this season, gives them quite a strong hand. And now Estonia, and this is Kalmar Vagul, only 18, big occasion for the Estonian. His teammate Arti Aigro to follow later. Aimar just outside the top 10 in the Junior Worlds in Planica in 2024, indicating promise. Robin Pedersen, early days from Vagul, going into second place, and the reason for that is the amount of compensation. Mohamed Bedir, the ski flying record holder of Turkey, teammate of Fatih Ipsioglu. But as I feared, both of the Turkish boys will not make tomorrow's first round. And anybody who messes up and doesn't get into the first round really has a problem, because the Four Hills is decided by the accumulation of points from all 4 competitions. And it's the athlete in Bischofshofen on the 6th of January who has the most points from Oberstdorf, Garmisch, Innsbruck and Bischofshofen who will lift the Golden Eagle. But now, former Austrian, now from France, Louis Obsteiner. Taking the opportunity to move countries with a sort of realization that he might not have got the opportunity with the Austrians. Was involved in the World Cup competition in Falun, outside the top 40 on the big hill there. But he is only 21. And next up will be Finland's Eetu Nusiainen. Isu, top 10 finish here in Oberstdorf, if you go through the lesser books. And that was 2022, but it was on the ski flying hill, the monster hill, rather than the Schattenberg Schanze. Not 110, sadly. 105. E2. Now, hold your breath, because the next man could change things in a significant way. Isak Andreas Langmo of Norway. Trained really, really well. First training effort, 137 meters, 131 for the second training flight. So this is where it really, really counts. Part of the new generation for Norway, only 21 years of age. 13th in the Junior Worlds 2 seasons ago. And even he's short. And surprisingly, 10 meters short. So just checking the wind. And it's about 1.5 meters per second. Slightly biased on the athlete's left-hand side in terms of strength. Next up, the second of the Ukrainians, Vitaly Kalinichenko. And the difficult conditions have persuaded the jury to go up to 16. Now, this becomes really significant because 7.6 was the points deduction for being up from 13 to 15. Now we're going to go up to 16. That'll mean more than 11 points as a deduction. So this could cancel out a large chunk of the backwind compensation. First World Cup points this season. And just having a look at the in-run speed there, 91.2. And that's the first athlete to actually record an in-run speed of over 90 kilometers. 91.2, but he's only at 106.5 meters down the hill. Robin Pedersen of Norway leads, and even at this early stage, when we need 50, I can tell you that Robin Pedersen, Kalmar Vagul, and Konstantin Schmidt, who started the day, are all through to the first round tomorrow. Roman Kudelka for the Czech Republic. Kudelka, just 2 Winter World Cup points so far this season. The 36-year-old who, if you wind the clock back, you'll find 5 victories, 5 individual competition victories. Now, this distance is up there with the likes of Vagul, but 11 points come off for the gate, and 12, you can see the balance is he only gets 1.3 points, which is just over half a meter, and that's as much the reason why he's down in 6th place. German fans getting excited now for young Luca Roth, junior world silver medalist back in 2019, and has achieved World Cup points, just a couple of them here in Oberstdorf in seasons gone by. Well, it's one of those ironies, isn't it, that the conditions when we had some front wind as well for the training, and it is characteristic for backwind to come in at this time of day, late afternoon. Things will change, though. Next man up will be Tate France from the United States, who has had a real tough start to the season. The last campaign, 3 10th place finishes for Tate France, who's sliding out onto the bar. That upper grubby line gives you an idea of where you need to get to qualify. The cheer for Luca Roth, by the way, was because he'd done enough to qualify. And this is 108 meters for Tate France, which is too short of the distance Luca Roth achieved. So the compensation would need to be more to get him into the final round. And at the moment, he must wait for maybe 1 or 2 to make mistakes. One American to another, Andy Urlaub. Well, these are challenging backwind conditions. The wind now virtually straight from behind, but it hasn't increased in strength, just turned slightly anti-clockwise. Andrew Olaub, some points in Sweden, in Falun, in the early part of this new World Cup season. And Robin Pedersen quite content to sit in the chair and maybe wonder why he's still there. Young Swiss, Juri Kesseli. 5th in the Junior Worlds in Lake Placid last season. Part of this new, exciting generation of Swiss, coached by Bine Norcic. Now, the telemark landing is becoming really important. Fail to make it and you lose 3 points from each judge, and I fear this is where Kesseli has run into trouble. More compensation, 18 points worth of backwind compensation. That's like having 10 meters worth of compensation, but it's reduced the number of points because of the deduction of the gate compensation, or gate deduction, I should say. And now a big cheer for the local man, Karl Geiger from Oberstdorf, the winner of this competition in 2020, but he's not in that form. Stepped out of the last World Cups in Engelberg to go and do some private training to try and get ready for today's event. But you sense that if this doesn't work in Oberstdorf for him, will Stefan Horngacher keep him in the German team for the rest of the tour? He had the option to go into Continental Cup, but decided that private training was the better route. 15 times an individual Winter World Cup winner. And now to 18-year-old Ilya Mezernik for Kazakhstan. Not bad, not bad. He's got the meters, he's definitely in the final round, and that's encouraging. 22nd in Engelberg in the second of the two competitions, the last competition in the World Cup before Christmas, a new personal best, and that takes him up into second place behind Robin Pedersen. And sliding out now, Sandro Hauswirt for Switzerland. 23rd and 26th in Engelberg. New best finish performances. And that's encouraging as well. Bine Norcic will be really pleased with this. First man to surpass the calculation line, 121.5, and Robin Pedersen will be moving out of the chair, surely. The star marks, no major errors here. Quickly over the skis, which are reasonably aerodynamic. Bine's happy, 17, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 17, 17 and a half, good marks. 121.5, and Sandro Hauswirt for Switzerland takes the advantage on an upward curve of form. 112.8, and only narrowly though, 0.3, 20 centimeters, pushes Pedersen out of the chair. Now to Sieben Aman. Oberstdorf winner in 2008 and 2013, but never the Four Hills title, sadly. Well done, qualifies, gets the telemark. Not 120, but only a couple of meters short. Encouraging. His work in Engelberg sufficient to ensure that he's qualified for the Olympics should the Swiss choose to select the quadruple Olympic champion. Now, I'm seeing actually 16s coming up here. Let's have a closer look at this touchdown. And it's a slip-slidey telemark, and the judges have decided no telemark, 3 points coming off. And it's expensive. Losing 3 points from each judge, that's 9 points, that's 5 meters. Simi into third place nonetheless. Definitely in the final round. Simon Aman, one of several who've won here before. USA, Kevin Bickner. Will this be enough, I wonder? Again, telemark, or lack of it, deducted. Well, this is not the qualification round because of the conditions that we expected, so there are a number of athletes who now have qualified. Kevin Bickner into fourth place, but I can tell you that Marusiak, the young Ukrainian, he's through. Kudelka is through. Junshiro Kobayashi, Itu Nusiainen, all are through to the final round. Now, Daniil Vasiliev of Kazakhstan. Mizernik, his teammate, sitting in fifth place. And this is really encouraging to see these Kazakhs actually qualify without too much fuss. Again, another man who hasn't got the telemark, but has got sufficient distance. Incidentally, some of you may have read about the report from the Court of Arbitration of Sport, which requires the International Ski Federation to allow athletes from Russia and from Belarus to participate and to try and qualify for the Olympic Games. None of them competing here today. And one of the factors that maybe is interesting to consider is that the ruling of the Court of Arbitration requires the International Ski Federation to allow the participation of these athletes under an international flag. And that's good from Rok Oblak. Rok Oblak of Slovenia over the calculation line, new leader. Excellent, really well done. The gate compensation, though, will cancel out the back wind compensation, so I need to hold my breath here, because although he's a meter and a half further down the hill than Sandro Hauswirth of Switzerland, the current leader, style marks are similar to the Swiss. It's competitive, and he is there, 116 points. Yeah, just to finish off that information, that although the International Ski Federation are required to allow the Russians and the Belarus athletes to participate, what one can't control is the decision of each country to issue visas. And Maciej got. Well, this 34-year-old who has struggled for so many seasons, only a 14th place finish in Viessmann on a home Polish hill. That's the only result he's achieved so far this season. But this Well, I've got to say it's encouraging. He will take the lead. No David Kubacki, Four Hills champion in today's lineup in the Four Hills. His loss of form persuaded him and the coaches that he should go into Continental Cup, which is something of a shock to lose him after 10 years of Four Hills excellence. Sakutaro Kobayashi. Well, he hasn't shown much since his top 20 finish in Lillehammer right at the beginning of the World Cup campaign. But Sakutaro, former Nordic Combiner, into the top 5 at the moment. And so too Max Ortner. Max Ortner, 2 podiums last season, right at the beginning of the campaign in Lillehammer. Max Ortner, who actually, until today, was leading the Continental Cup rankings. Those are the senior or second tier. And that's fine. Max Ortner, as a result of what he was doing in the Continental Cup, twice second in Ruka, persuaded Andy Wenzel to bring him back into the Austrian team. Austria, who've been so dominant in recent times in the Vierschanzen, clean sweeping the podium last season. And Ortner into 3rd place, 123 meters at the moment. That's very good. But remember what I was explaining at the beginning of this competition, that the athlete with the greatest number of points will face the athlete with the least number, and that's how they're going to be paired up. Paweł Wasek for Poland. Fair amount of height coming off the table, and that was a little bit more encouraging. Third in Lahti last year, towards the end of the campaign, his best ever result. This time just the wrong side of the calculation line, but safely through that queue that you see on the right of your screen confirms that he'll be participating in the first round tomorrow. And so too a big roar for the man who was a winner here last year, Andy Wellinger. A little bit like his teammate Karl Geiger, hasn't been in the best of form. And Geiger went out. Wellinger, well, he's a couple of meters shy of the calculation line, but is it going to be enough? 117 meters. There are a number of athletes around that distance, the likes of Simon Aman, Vasiliev of Kazakhstan, Kevin Bickner. It should be just enough, but it's a modest distance. And the lower number of points means the harder your opponent's going to be in the head-to-head duel tomorrow. 10th place for Wellinger. Twice he's finished second in the overall Four Hills, and here's a man with a breakthrough this season at the age of 32, Tomofumi Naito for Japan. Again, that just might be enough. Might be. Should be. It's a little further than Wellinger, but no telemark on the end. Tomofumi, 6th place in Klingenthal in Germany. A couple of weeks back, his best ever. 4 top 30s as well. top 10 at the moment. Leading the way, Maciej Kot of Poland. Here he is. Olympic bronze medalist with the Polish team back in 2018 in Pyeongchang. Those were the heady days for Maciej Kot. Anti-alto for Finland. That's encouraging. Good to see the Finns have got representation. That's well over 120 meters, 124. So that's right up there in terms of distance with the likes of Rok Oblak of Slovenia, 123 meters. Likewise for Maxi Ortner. Alto with reduced backwind compensation, 5th place. Arti Aigro for Estonia now. Yet to make the top 20 here in Oberstdorf. But encouraging, Estonia represented in the final. Over 120 meters. Arti now 26 years of age. Reasonable start to the new season with 2 top 15 finishes in Lillehammer, but then more recently had to overcome the flu, and this will put Aigro in the top 10 as well. He works closely with the Norwegians, one of the partnerships that really works. But one Finn is through, that's Alto now. Can Nico Kitosaho join him? Nico, who came back with 8th place in Ruka. Excellent start to his campaign. And he's safely through to tomorrow's event. Who will he meet? Well, we'll give you the matchups at the end of this round. Over 120 meters. Alto, his teammate, 1, 2, 4. He's got 1, 2, 2.5. But he has got a telemark on the end of that. And he has got a little bit more backwind compensation. And that's why he's up in 4th and he's the #1 Finn. Next up, the United States, who could do with a bit of good fortune. Jason Colby, only 19. An excellent 7th place, this youngster in Engelberg last Saturday. Not yesterday, but before Christmas, I should say. He is the American in form. He is the American #1. 7th in Engelberg, plus 6 other top 30 scoring points performances. And that is as far as anybody. He's matched Maciej Kot for distance, and I think he's beaten him in terms of execution. Might this be good enough to take the lead? It'll be very close. But I think the star marks are going to be better and they're going to be significant. Jason Colby, 120.9, USA on top. Really good. Now the next man is the Swiss #1, so they say. Gregor Schwanden. Well, I should say it's Piotr Jewa. Gregor Schwanden comes after Piotr. 38 years young. Very good. Kept the extension going there. Maximized the speed. That was professional. Very good from Piotr. Runner-up in the Four Hills back in 2017, when he actually finished 7th here in Oberstdorf. Jewa. and deservedly in the top 3, just behind his teammate Maciej Kot. Much more encouraging for the Polish fans. And that's the Piotr Żeła we know. Now, I jumped ahead to Gregor Deschwanden. His form has generally been way down. He had a 10th place in Ruka, same in Falun, but training was a little bit more encouraging. And that's where it really matters. 132.5 meters, the distance he reached in the first training round, and he's matched it here when it matters, and that will put Switzerland back into first place. Have a look at this. Absolutely straight as a die, beautifully balanced. Look at the fissures, really flat, aerodynamic, upper body parallel, pretty good spacing. Control was good. Straight back. 17s, oh, there's an 18 in there. Well, a bit of difference from the judges, 16.5 to 18. Gregor Deschwanden, 6 times on a World Cup podium, but yet to win one. Kamil Stoch, Poland going well. Can he join the party? Well, that's delightful. The winner of the Vierschanzen in 2017, 2018 and 2021, including the Grand Slam in 2018. And this is exciting for the Poles. 130.5 will put him up, as you can see, into second place in what we believe will be his farewell season. And now Piers Paschke. Piers Paschke, who had such a good start to last season. He said he's really excited. Well, all the Germans are excited. 5 victories in the early part of last season. A 4th place finish here in the opening round of last season's Vierschanzen. And that's better from Paschke. Now the crowd are really getting into this. The gate deduction of 11 points will wipe out the back compensation of 3.7. So he's still got to get a minus score in that regard, but the meters are okay. 127 meters. Piers Paschke, Germany into 5th place. The best of the Germans so far, but they have Felix Hoffmann, they have Philipp Raimund. They're 2 in-form athletes still to come. Another winner of the 4 Hills, Halvor Granerud. Won the title, 22. 23 that season. Granerud 130. What we haven't seen from Halvor is maximum consistency, putting 2 efforts together, but we saw in Ruka 2 7th place finishes, which remains at the moment his best of the season so far. Granerud, though, up into 3rd place, top Norwegian. Deschwanden still leading for Switzerland, but now to be attacked by Jonas Schuster of Austria. 5th and 6th in Engelberg just before the Christmas break. Lifetime best performances by this youngster. Annie Wenzel gave him his chance when Stefan Kraft went home to become a dad. And Jonas had the opportunity to come in, and he's earned and he's kept his place. .130.5, right up there with the likes of Stock and Granerud. And top 5 for sure, has to be. 4th place. Gregor Deschwanden, who comes from a little village called Hura, very close to Lucerne, in the lead, and now the Olympic champion from Beijing, Marius Lindvik. Runner-up in the Vierschanzen in 2022. Just about. Not impressive, though. That would not fill you with hope. Gregor Deschwanden leading. Kamil Stock, Halvor Granerud in 2nd and 3rd places. I can tell you that at the moment, waiting in the wings, hoping that someone will mess up. Yuri Kessler of Switzerland, Ben Bayer of Germany, Karl Geiger of Germany, Tate France of the United States. Now, Forfang have good thoughts about Forfang's performance. And that's what he can do. Lovely touchdown, really in control. Star marks ought to be 18s. The meters are there, the style is there, and this is competitive. Over 130 meters in training earlier today. And again now when it really, really matters. Forfang, 7th and 10th in Engelberg just before the Christmas break. His best of the season so far, so maybe things coming right at the opportune time. 2nd place. Forfang with Lindvik, of course, at the heart of the suit manipulation scandal of last season. They were suspended. Some thought not for long enough, but they are here. And Nakamura now for Japan. Could he surprise us? Well, it's respectable. The distance is there. What are they going to make of the style? Not as good as Forfang. A little compressed and crushed on the touchdown, but well, there are a couple of 18s and a 17.5, so maybe I'm being a little harsh into 3rd place for Naoki Nakamura. 6 top 15s so far this season, but he's had a chance of getting near the podium, but hasn't managed to capitalize. And the jury taking the gate down to 15. That means the 11-point deduction will reduce. Manuel Fettner, 40 years of age, 4th in the Four Hills way back in 2011 when he finished 3rd in the opening round here in Oberstdorf. And Fettner safely through as well, 130 meters. Manuel Fettner from the Austrian Tyrol. One top 10 finish so far in the current campaign. That was in Falun on the big hill when he was 7th. Fettner, less deduction on the gate, only 7.6 points, and that's helped him up into 4th place. He would love to win one of these, and still Gregor Deschwanden Well, a week or so ago, you wouldn't have imagined that he would have been sitting there, but watch out for Timmy Zeitz. Now, this man has been consistently over 130 meters in training. The 2023 World Big Hill Champion. Slovenia, and he's over 130 meters. He's been Mr. Consistent all day. Timmy Zeitz. Never better than 10th in the overall 4 hills, and yet to really make his mark in this competition. But that is a mark. Thumbs up from Domen Preus, and Slovenia with the advantage. And you can imagine the number of Slovenian fans with Domen Preus so well fancied for this competition, how many have made the journey. Timmy Zeitz deposes Gregor Deschwanden. And now Chris Sundal. On his day, this man can do some damage. Backwind is relatively quiet. Needed more. Mid-120s. Styles okay. And indeed, 1, 2, 3 marks of 18. Nothing shabby about that. Well, this is where it gets really interesting. We're coming into the final stages where you would expect the next men to really head up the leaderboard. '18-year-old Kasper Tomasiak of Poland. He's been a revelation. Fifth in Engelberg, and also in Wiesla. But this for him is his debut at the 4 hills, the Vierschanzen. Now this will drop him down the order a little bit because only 124 meters. And so too the one and only Bulgarian, Vladimir Zagravsky, who came so close to his first ever podium in Ruka when he finished 4th. 6th in Wiesla, 9th in Falun. 2 other very, very decent results for this man who works closely and cooperates with the German team. Vlad yet to make an impression in Oberstdorf, and that's mid-120s, as you can see. One thing they're all conscious of is if you're not going to win, at least limit the damage. Ninth place at the moment. About 9 points off the lead, which is 5 meters between him and Timmy Zeitz, who currently leads. And so too the #1 Frenchman, Valentin Foubert. 2 excellent top 10 finishes this season. 5th in Ruka, even better in Klingenthal, 4th. Well, he's going to find himself with a hard opponent if he makes it through. Backwind came up there, and this is right on the margins. He's not going to get the telemark 3 points from each of the judges. He's short on distance. Having said that, the likes of Junshiro Kobayashi got through with 111 meters. Even Ito Nusiainen has qualified with 105. So 31st place, he's okay. These points are not carried forward. The points that count for the four hills are started with the first round tomorrow. 10 to go. And this is the state of play. And just a reminder, don't run away at the end of this, because the computer will then give us the matchups of who will meet who in the first round tomorrow in the knockout round. All of these men at the moment out of the competition. So the top 10 in the World Cup rankings to come. Timmy Zajc of Slovenia in the lead. And he's been in terrific form all day. 140 meters in the first training round. 134.5 in the second. 135 when it matters most in competition. 25 years of age. Seems to have been around for a lot longer than that. The world champion in Planica in 2023 on home snow. On the big hill. And now to someone who's still in the early stages of his career, but he's already made an impact. The two-time junior world champion, Stefan Embacher. Just before the Christmas break, set a new hill record in Engelberg of 145 meters. And Stefan Embacher into tomorrow's draw. Hails from the Kitzbühel Ski Club. A runners-up spot in Falun. His best of the season so far on the big hill there in Sweden. Into second spot with the compensation points. 13 points worth of backwind compensation have wiped out the gate deduction. So he gains an extra 3 meters. That's how he's moved up into the table. Now watch out for this man. Getting better and better. Jan Hurl. Austria. Runner-up here in Oberstdorf last year. But he's on the premises. Close to 130. Look for that backwind support. The star marks will be decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unanimity from the judges. 18s from everybody. That's helpful. 10 points of backwind will cancel out the gate deduction. Jan Hurl up into second place. Jan Hurl, who's finished 13 times as runner-up in World Cup competitions. He's won 5, but he's been a runner-up on 13 occasions. Timmy Zajc, Jan Hurl, Slovenia, Austria. Stefan Embacher down to third place. Gregor Deschwanden to fourth. And now the man who won this fantastic competition last year, Daniel Stefanik, still only 23. Sets out to defend his Four Hills crown. And what a start. Over 130 meters. The bookmakers would offer you more than 20 to 1 for him to retain his title. come on stock, the last man to win back-to-back 4 hills. And Scheveningen goes into first place. It's that good. There's still more talent to come. Stefan Kraft, the winner of Oberstdorf 2014, 2016, 2024. Just slightly snatched and snapped at the telemark landing, the 32-year-old. Four Hills champion. Last season, Stefan Kraft won this competition ahead of Jan Hurl, ahead of Scheveningen. It was an Austrian clean sweep for that man, Andy Wetzel, the head coach. Stefan Kraft, 27th place. Who's going to meet Stefan Kraft in the head-to-head duel? This is going to be fascinating. Felix Hoffmann now for Germany. They're getting excited. Hoffmann, 137 meters in the opening training round. Hoffmann yet to win a World Cup. 3 podiums so far. Well, definitely in the mix. Short of 130, but look at the, excuse me, the compensation. Philipp Raimund, his German teammate, to come. Eighth place at the moment, so he's in the upper echelon, so likely to meet someone who hasn't had such a good day, but who will it be? Five to go in qualification, and next up, the very excellent Rennik Aido. 2 runners-up spots this season. Ruka, Finland, Klingenthal, Germany. Well, that's sort of Stefan Kraft territory. I was expecting better than this from Rennik Aido. A little bit off balance coming off the table there. That affected the carry forward of speed. And style marks are going to be down in the 16, which is a bit punishing. 27th place qualifies. Will need to be a whole lot better tomorrow. Now the German crowd will get excited again. Philipp Raimund, 5 podiums in his career. The first came last season in Lake Placid, or 2024 in Lake Placid. His best this season came in Poland, in Viessmann. Confidence is high. And that is what the crowd were waiting for. A real challenge, over 130 meters in adverse conditions. Great style, and they have a player. The local man from Oberstdorf, Philipp Raimund, really quick over the skis. And this will score well. All the marks are 18, no 19s, but an 18. We haven't seen a 19 today. But this is right up there. This is to challenge Scheveningen for the lead. There's Stefan Gacher on the left. Daniel Scheveningen acknowledging that performance. Germany lead with 3 to come. 2 for Slovenia, 1 for Japan. Andrzej Lanasek, the next man to come. Philipp Raimund, by the way, 10-1 to win tomorrow's competition, and 12-1 to win the tourney. Andrzej Lanasek, victorious in Ruka, victorious in Falun, but then lost his way in Klingenthal and to a certain extent in Engelberg. That's more like it. You need a good start in the Four Hills to provide a platform on which to build, and this is at least 130 meters. Not as far as Raimund, not as far as Schöffenig, not as far as Zeitz, his Slovenian teammate. Zeitz with 135 meters. Still the leading distance, and Lanasek 7th place, but puts him in the upper echelons. And so to Ryoyu Kobayashi, winner of this prestigious title in 2018, 2019 and 2021. The Grand Slam in 2019, winning all 4 in a single season. And Kobe, well, similar territory to the man who just preceded him, Lanasek. Ryoyu Kobayashi, second favorite for a 4th Four Hills title. Jani Ahonen of Finland, the Finnish legend, 5 times a winner of the Viessmann. Jens Weissflog of Germany, or the GDR in Germany, 4 times a winner. And so to Domen Prevc, the younger brother of Peter Prevc, who won this title in 2016. 5 wins already this season, the World Cup leader, wearing the Viessmann bib. And Domen Prevc, that is close to 140. Oh, it's 139.5. Well, the extra bonus points he will get for distance will surely topple Philipp Raimund from the 1st place. Domen Prevc. Ryoyu Kobayashi was the man who broke his winning sequence in Engelberg on the Sunday before the Christmas holidays. Domen Prevc, absolutely firm favorite with the bookmakers. Robert Hagota centre stage there, the head coach for Slovenia. And Domen Prevc goes ahead of Philipp Raimund and wins the qualification by 10 points, almost 11, 6 meters in distance. Now stay with us, because this is where the computer goes to work. Domen Prevc is in 1st place. He will meet the person in 50th place. Who is that person? It is Eetu Lusiainen. This is unofficial, it's just me doing this. Philipp Raimund in 2nd place would meet the athlete in 49th place. That is Junshiro Kobayashi. And this is the result first of all. And then the athlete in 3rd place, Daniel Schöffenig, the defending champion, would meet the athlete who is in 48th place, which would be Roman Kodelka. It's important, though, with the head-to-head duels. The rules are whoever wins the head-to-head duel goes into the final round, and then there are 5 places for the best lucky losers. However, every athlete knows that although you're in a knockout head-to-head duel situation, really you have to focus on getting as many points for yourself. Quite simply because it's the points that are accumulated and ultimately determine who will lift that golden eagle in Bishop's Open on the 6th of January. Domen Prevc. Well, will he become an Oberstdorf winner? 4 Hills winners, or should I say Oberstdorf winners in the lineup who've all qualified. Kraft, Wellinger, Granerud, Ryoyo Kobayashi, Kamil Stock, Simon Amann. Just Karl Geiger misses out. Well, the podium looks healthy. Slovenia, Germany, Austria, 2 Slovenians. Germany, 2 Austrians, 3 Austrians in the top 6. Ryoyo Kobayashi just behind for Japan. Gregor Deschwanden the best for Switzerland. Johan Andre Forfang in 10th place for Norway. Encouraging. Jason Colby, 18th for the United States, just behind Zagravsky of Bulgaria. And I haven't mentioned Poland, but Kamil Stock in the top 15 in 14th place. So there's the bonus prize, 3,175 euros. All the prize money now in euros as opposed to Swiss francs. And Domen, first step on a long journey. And now we come to the matchups. Here they are. Finland versus Poland. Kitasaho against Tomasiak. And there, Antti Aigro against Piotr Zewa. Robin Pedersen from Continental Cup now against Piers Paschke, who was slightly better today. And then Lindvik versus Zagravsky. That could go either way. Simon Amann against Granerud. 2 Oberstdorf winners. Vasiliev and Fettner. Well, Vasiliev's raced his game. Wellinger against Hoffmann. Germany versus German, just what they didn't want. And then Vagul versus Deschwanden. That's a kind draw for Gregor Deschwanden. Marusiak versus Timmy Zeitz. That's tough. Kudelka against Stefanik. Likewise. And the last match up there, Nusiainen of Finland against the World Cup leader Domen Prevc. Now that's how they're going to compete tomorrow in the first round. The winner to go through.
Congratulations. It didn't look like pressure or something like this.
I mean, for the jump, my coach said just go up, have fun, enjoy it, be more playful, and these are the exact words that I want to hear, because then I know that like the basics and everything is okay, so I just need to relax and have lots of fun.
Thank you very much, Domen, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Horst Nielgin, the media attaché, with the questions to Domen Prevc. First step on the journey accomplished in this, the 74th edition of this famous competition. And everybody can now relax a little bit. For the fans, it's a chance to get back into Oberstdorf, which is lovely, and just enjoy the evening. This is the journey. Tomorrow is competition number 1 at 4:30 Central European time. And from all of us from FIS TV, delighted to have you on board, and we look forward to your company tomorrow. For myself, David Goldstrom, and the team, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and enjoying us for competition number 1 on Monday for the Golden Eagle, the FIS Schanzen of 2025-2026. For now, though, bye-bye from Oberstdorf.